Hello, 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 hello. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. So let's break this down, right? At this point, we have. At this point, we are trading UJ, right? So UJ. Let's go off the monthly time frame, right? So right now, for UJ, right? Overall trend, right? Still bullish, right? Based off the fact that we got a higher low, higher high, never broke any type of higher low point, even back down here, right? Did form a lower high point, and then we have this higher low point, and now this higher low point is trying to break this lower high point. That's kind of where we're at as of now. Still bullish, but at this key zone, right? At this key zone, right? So we have a lot of potential, right? A lot of bullish potential, especially being at this like key level right here. Very, very key, right? So, with that being said, weekly is also pretty much bullish, right? Weekly never had a breakup support. This right here was almost a breakup support. Did not get that, right? As you can see, tested. So that's that tested level, right? And then we ended up pushing back to the upside. Once again, I think I'm at that resistance right here. So it's this resistance right here. So again, we're still making that high. This is a gap, right? But overall, this was like supposed to be like that higher low point type of thing. So all this is technically still noise, right? Even just this kind of push to the downside. So now at this point here is where we can potentially now see the push up, right? Yeah. So that was that, right? So again, and this is a trade that, I mean, if I'm being honest, I had buys, right? I was in these buys here. This was literally buys that I had. If I go down to the daily, see a little bit better because I remember pushed down there. I had buys in this bullish candle, had buys in this bearish candle. I think I had one more buy right here, and then I think I tried like selling like right here, something dumb. Why did I close? To this day, I don't know why. This would have been my best trade yet, right? And I was so confident in these buys, so confident, right? And I still am, right? So again, as you guys can see right now, I still have this position right here. It's a buy position. As you can see, we're pretty much at this level here, right? We're at this pretty much high point at this point right here, right? So even just based off the daily, we still haven't even broken any type of support. This here was not a break of support. It was like tested, and now we're kind of pushing back, trying to break this here. But it looks like we have some bullish potential right here, right? So with that being said, right, off the weekly time frame, is kind of where we're at. Once again, daily's kind of not the best to be seeing that structure right there as a whole. I know I have this higher low point and this higher high point, but essentially that support down here is based off this time frame here. So even if we come back down here, this is that support level that we would need to see be broken there, right? So then trying to analyze this structure here is a lot better on the H4. Still kind of noisy, still kind of blocky, but like I said, if we understand structure for what it is, we understand that this is a higher low. This was like that higher high, that next point. This was that high. That in a sense, then we haven't broken any type of support. There's no real support that's being broken. Even all this right here is just noise, right? Just all noise. All along here is all noise. So yeah, so technically, right, this position, overall position, like if I'm trying to aim for this buy, technically my stops would have to be down here. If I'm going for the overall move, right, like I just know that's gonna go, I know it's gonna go to the upside, right? So if I want to just feel that confident, I just gotta put my stops there. But that's a big move. That's off the H4. So this is where we want to get a better entry, understanding that we're kind of already at that key point. So this was that key point, right, where we're just not trying to sell below. Stop, came down here, and then came down here once again, right? So we're consolidating a lot right here. So again, at this point here, right? So again, I gotta just enter a better position based off just that and have an overall risk, better risk, right? If I was at the zone, right? But obviously I'm not, so it is what it is, right? That's kind of that point where we would want to be at, right around there, right? So now analyzing all of this right here, right? Let me actually try to take this off because I can see that it's, why is it not letting me? Oh, because we're closed, that's why. Dang. So I was actually gonna move my stops, but we just closed the market, so now I don't have that. And I'm pretty sure we're like right there too at that level. Okay, but whatever. It's still pretty much that overall point, right? So if we go here, right, M15. So from here I'm analyzing all this based off the M15. So we did get, damn, look at that. Did it hit my, I think I'm like a hip away from my stops. I think it's gonna hit it or activate it. That's crazy. Just insane. I mean, technically you hit my stop loss, but it just didn't go through because I guess we just. So I think this might be okay. So that's just that level there, right? So I mean, we pretty much came back down to this level here. Originally, it had stops down here, all the way down here. I was gonna move it, forgot to move it. This is kind of where I'm at that level here. I think it opens like in like a minute or two. 10 minutes. So we'll see how this kind of comes to be. Oops. Shot straight down, right? Straight down. Based off this H4. Boom, that's that candle there too. So again, stops actually should have been down here, somewhere down here. So we'll actually hopefully still, if not, we'll just re-enter, try to find another position. It is what it is. Yeah. Oh. Stop loss. So it did let me fix that. So that's kind of what I'm living with now, right? At this point in time, since we were able to modify that, right? It was actually supposed to get hit. It didn't get hit, so got kind of lucky there. We'll see if we get lucky, right? At this point, we just shot straight down, straight down. Once again, overall structure is based off this higher low point. So as long as we pretty much can maintain all of this, right? We have all this room to kind of maintain. That's pretty much it, you know. So I still feel confident in the bullish move, especially because we're still bullish, right? Even if we go based off this M15, that push here, higher low, higher high. So we are within bullish structure. We're just gonna have to kind of break out of this whole. You have to kind of break out of this little counter trend here. Right now we're just simply counter trending. All we need is a breakout, and that's it. I kind of want to go all in on this trade, maybe. I don't know, not all in, but like I understand the move, right? So I'm pretty bullish, right? And especially here too, we have this like symmetrical triangle on this maybe kind of from here to here, and there we go. So we did gap down, then push all the way up. We'll see how. Let's see how this plays out. One of those trades. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at right now, right? And kind of dipped a little bit more, but like I said, as long as we can maintain the support right here, which I think we will. Again, we have something coming out for some type of news event for the yen, right? And last 2 times it came out was bad, so that gives it a chance to kind of push up. We also have something mid-level news for the US, right, that can potentially even push this even up higher, right? So again, we're kind of just monitoring it at this point. We are gapping, we are technically not in session, right? It's barely 2, so we're now in the Sydney session right now. So yeah, so this can be very, very choppy until we get to that Asian session type of thing, right? But here's what it is. We're in this trade. Cool. And yeah, let's see if we can just end up maintaining this level right here. I don't want to see it come down here. Like I said, especially with everything going on, like we're overall still bullish, right? Nothing has broken bearish at all. Nothing has broken bearish, right? So we're still bullish, and we can still see this potentially pushing to the upside. We just had that gap, not the best gap. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at this point here with this. So that's kind of my overall goal, overall trade. Where I see this going, I still think we can get a nice big bullish candle. That candle ended like that. Dang. All the way up here, right? I've been on this, right? I've been saying that it's gonna hit up here, even before, like, even when I was down here, I knew that this is an area where we could see this going to. And again, it's like, why did I close? I don't know, but that's kind of, we gotta live with it, you know what I mean? So this is the only pair that I'm going to be kind of focused on, right? GU from yesterday's, I was literally recording myself yesterday on this trade right here. This is where we're at, right? And we were literally at right here. It closed out literally right before it popped to the upside. Again, I didn't know about the whole, like, it was Memorial Day. Then we weren't even in session and all this stuff, so it was just kind of getting to me right at this point. But I literally said, like, I think I can see it coming towards right here, up to this level here, max. And that's exactly what it did, right? And then it kind of just retraced a little bit more, and then it shot up, right? Giving us that next higher high point. So it is what it is, right? It is what it is. It was like 100 and something trade. And I think it pretty much popped up maybe right before London session, maybe, and just shot up. So right now it's just shooting up, right? Right now we're just at this point where we're just pretty much pushing up. That was an entry, but now I don't think that we can potentially, looking at this, right, we are pretty much bearish, right, on this time frame of the daily. We have this lower high, we have this lower low, right? But now at this point in time, we do have kind of these candles pretty much pushing to the upside. And with that being said, I mean, if we don't have any type of momentum to the downside here, I potentially don't see this kind of pushing through. I mean, we are overall bullish as well, based off the weekly, right? Higher low, higher high. So I could see this coming up. Now, can we see a potential, like, I don't know, right here, like right around here? We have a lot of sell, right? We sold off here. Let me delete this one here. We sold off pretty much here. As you can see, all these wicks we sold off. We even sold off once again here. If I even drag it a little bit, Yeah, kind of have a little sell there. So we have potential here, right? Now, can this be a nice sell? It could, right? Definitely could. We're still pretty much bearish on here, lower high, lower low. So I mean, I would be down to enter at this area here, but it would have to give me a lot, and it would definitely be in session as well. So definitely not a move that I'm looking at right now, but maybe in session, right? So we'll see how this kind of plays out. But if it continues to push up, then it continues to push up, right? Like there's no entry for a buy anymore. We had that entry around here somewhere, right? And we just missed it for the overall move, right? So right now it's pretty much just this pair here, right? Potentially this can be that nice little push to the upside. Continuation of everything that it's pretty much doing. And even though we sold off, gapped off, it did look like now we're kind of making a little bullish candle right now. So this is a really good sign. No, the entry is not the best, but I mean, I would not be opposed to maybe even entering again, another entry. I know I'm below here, but again, I'm really bullish, right? And I need to stick to what I'm seeing, right? All along here, literally I had entries all along right here. All these side entries. And look at this, it's all the way up here now. Because that would have been, I don't even know how much money, but lots, right? So again, I gotta just stick to what I know, regardless of whatever else we might be thinking, right? So that's that trade there, right? So we'll just see how it plays out, right? Again, I have my TP. This could take another day, right? Technically, I mean, even if with this candle here we end up pushing to the upside, it could close here, right? And then potentially, you know what I mean? But I mean, with all the news events that we potentially have for today, or for tomorrow coming up in the morning, I think we do have enough to even just potentially give us that next, just up here, right? Literally just up there. And again, based off the daily time frame, still bullish, right? We are still bullish. Even kind of, I mean, we're not analyzing this weekly time frame. Boom, boom. Yeah, even that itself, like I think H4. That's kind of what we're at right there. H4 daily candle, boom, boom, boom. So we were kind of bearish here, right? But then we kind of flipped that. Now we're bearish, bullish. So again, let's just see if we can push this upside right here. And this trade here alone would be a nice little, I think like $900 trade, something like that. So and again, I can use essentially all that money that I'll make into kind of trading this here, this kind of GU, right? Because I think if we do sell off here, I'm not saying that we kind of shoot to the moon, but I think that if we do have a nice sell-off, I think the sell-off could at least be, I mean, minimum here. I mean, if we have a decent sell-off or a decent push, I don't really see why it can't even just push to like right here again. You know what I mean? Somewhere like right here within this area. And that there, if I look at the order pattern, take profit, sell, or if I try selling off here, I mean, that's a decent move, right? For a standard lot, decent move. I think I can even hit down here, to be honest with you. Boom. So I think this is a really good trade, you know what I mean? Especially because daily we're still bullish. So if we can just see H4 maybe start to transition, right? Essentially get some type of potential daily candle. I mean, that would be a great position right there to pretty much enter off of. We would just need H4. Yeah, H4 to pretty much transition. So right now, if we look at how it's looking at right now, H4 100% is bullish, right? As we can see, higher low, higher high, right? So again, even if we can, I mean, sure, if we can even retrace just a little bit during this night session right here, right? Something like this, give us an H4 candle, push up, something like this, boom, and then that potentially being some type of just motive to kind of hit to the downside. Now, once again, I'm not saying that it's going to just break structure, but if we can aim from here, we can potentially aim from there, right? It's all about structure, but technically, again, if we're going to need a daily, like, yeah, it'll probably just be a short. It'll probably be a short, depending on how much more like momentum we have. Because again, we would need a bullish, like a bearish engulfing to feel confident in these deep sells, at least down here again. But again, who knows? Who knows? We'll see how Asian session, Sydney/Asian session kind of plays out, and then we'll just wait, look at our best risk to reward, and just kind of go about that. But for sure, I need UJ to push to the upside. This is that right there would be lovely. I honestly don't even want to put a take profit. No, I don't want to get too delusional, but essentially we're at these high points. This would actually be great right here. What would that mean? Take profit. Wait, what? Wasn't this like 2K? Am I tripping? I just thought that level. I'm tripping, but alright, nonetheless, right? Even if we can get this push up here, that'd be nice, right? I'm probably just leave that there. Nice big weekly candle, but I'm saying like we're at this high point, like we're at literally these high points. So if structure, technically the next point here is just a higher high. That's that. You know what I mean? That's that. Like we can just get that higher high. That's it. We'd be making new highs off UJ, and that's insane. That's what I want. That's exactly what I want right there. So again, we'll see, right? We'll see. We'll see how this plays out. But I mean, look, shoot. Like if we look at this candle right here, technically that monthly candle is already kind of formed, but look at the size of that. So even just have full candle, half of just whatever this is, it's damn near possible. Damn near possible. So that's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I want. So that's that, right? So we'll see how this kind of plays out. Already entered. We'll see how this kind of plays out. Sydney session is not moving at all. So hopefully Asian session we end up having some type of clean push to the upside, right? What would that be? Right now, something we did gap, but now we're pushing up a little bit, so that's really, really good. Let's see if we can just continue that.